And welcome to the Jefferson College Report on 1400 KJFF and JCTV. We're joined by head coach Kevin Emmerich of the women's basketball team. Coach, how are you?
Good, Dave. How you doing?
Not too bad. You guys just started your conference play on Saturday. You had a victory. Now you face Florissant Valley Community College here on Wednesday. How do you feel going into this conference season?
Well, our preseason was pretty much designed just to help us get ready for the conference and the region play. So, we're sitting at 9-3 going in before Saturday and 10-3 now. So, I think we would have taken that going in. We've still got a lot of work to do to get better on a lot of things regarding defense and boxing out and some of those things. But I feel pretty comfortable going in.
And now how much do you know about Florissant Valley heading into this contest?
Well, we know they're not as big as a lot of teams we've played, and so that gives us a different look, not necessarily an advantage because they're a quick team, but it gives us a different look, allows us to go with a little bit bigger lineup and kind of force them to match up with us. So that's about all we know about them going into Wednesday night. Now,
this is your first year at Jefferson College, and heading into this season, did you think you'd be sitting at 10-3 at this point?
Well, we knew we had good talent. I mean, it's hard to tell exactly what you've got till you get on the floor and assess the competition. And I think that was the only question mark, Dave, maybe was the competition. I just hadn't had a chance to see all the way through a conference or a preseason or a region season. So I know we would have taken 10-3 if somebody would have told me that a couple months ago. Could we be, 12-1 maybe? Yeah, I think we could be, but we're happy with where we're at right now.
And now heading into Wednesday, this will be only your second home game in quite a while. You had the Jeffco Classic here,
Yep.
But now how does it feel to be back at home for the most part? Just to be back on the home floor and able to practice here and stay here overnight.
Well, it was great on Wednesday. Or on Saturday afternoon, we had a really good crowd, and especially for a 2 o'clock game, we had a lot of people here, and our cheerleaders are always out in full support of us. And if you put the cheerleading squad in the gym with 100 other people, you got a pretty big crowd. So we had a good crowd, and it was a rowdy crowd, and it really helped us get the win on Saturday. And I'm anticipating a good crowd Wednesday night for the 7 o'clock game. So we hope there is.
Now your next game isn't until the following Wednesday. Is that correct?
It is.
And how come there's such a gap? Is that because of Christmas vacation or holiday vacation? Because you only play 2 games between the 9th and the 30th.
Yeah, I think it's typically just when finals get over around the 13th to the 15th. Usually there's not a lot of games in there. Actually, we had a good schedule because we've got this game tomorrow night, and then a week from now, State Fair and Moberly and some of the other region people that we play, they're done right now till after Christmas.
Okay.
So they've almost got a month break in here, or 3 weeks break before they actually play again. So we've got really a good schedule set up. We're glad we've got that game with Forest Park to keep us sharp going into the region play after the beginning of the year.
And obviously you guys are practicing in the back right now. Who's really just kind of been your spotlight performers thus far in the season?
Well, it seems like we've been putting 3 or 4 people in double figures every night. Shatera Kinchin and Candy Beamer have been leading in scoring, but that's just one part of the game, and so they get the most notice. Candy has certainly been the most consistent performer. I mean, she's been in double figures almost every night. She's top 10 in the nation in 3-point shooting, which really is something, and she's moving up every week, and she had a great game Saturday. So Shatera's been a real plus for us. Ashley Cornett has been a plus. Evelina Skarjinska has been playing well in the post the last week and a half, 2 weeks, which we have desperately needed some presence in the post, and I think that's going to help us going into region play. So everybody's been contributing. The most outstanding overall so far would be Candy and Shatera, but there's a lot of people that have helped in that role the whole year.
Has there been anything coming into the season when you first looked at the team in the very first practice of the year and you said, this is my coaching philosophy, this is what I want to do, but has there been any sort of a change? Because obviously with a different team every year, you're going to have a little bit of change to adjust to their style, not as only to yours as well.
Yeah, I think that in an ideal world, you'd go out and try to recruit players to fit what you want to do. In this situation, coming in late and picking up Gary's players that were already here, he had a different focus in his coaching philosophy than I do. So I would say we have not been able to control the basketball as well as I wanted to. And I think that's the biggest thing, is that we really haven't had anybody that can get up on the basketball and really take it off the center of the floor and push it full court like I thought we were going to have. So that has changed our philosophy somewhat. We've adjusted. We have not pressed as much as I would have liked to have pressed in the past, and we're working on that over the holidays. We expect we're going to get some of that ability to pressure the ball up the floor back.
And are you going to let them go home for a few days for the holidays?
Sure.
Is there going to be a break? What's that period going to be like?
Yeah, we'll be done the night of the 20th against Forest Park, and then they won't come back until the 27th. So they'll get a whole week off in there, which in the middle of the season, you hate to see them get 2 or 3 days off in a row. But on the other hand, if you're playing basketball, the season goes from September through April. And so the kids need a break. And they've had a couple breaks already through the season in the fall, but I think that week will help them get their batteries recharged and help the coaching staff get their batteries recharged, and we'll come back and we go down to Olney after that and then get into region play.
That's going to be, the 4th time you played Olney this season?
It'll be actually the 5th if you count jamborees, but
wow.
We've just played them twice in the regular season. This will be the 3rd time in the regular season that we've played them, so it's hard to beat a team 3 times, and we're going to their place, so we expect that'll be a tough game.
And now, is there anybody that really you didn't expect to produce that's maybe coming off the bench or possibly even starting right now that you didn't expect to have as big an impact as they have thus far this season?
Well, I think that Callie Huff and Robin Stone, probably both. Robin has been starting for us. She came late in the summer. Aya Vixani, who didn't play much at all last year for Gary, has stepped up. She's a sophomore, and she has fit in nicely against some teams. We've needed some outside shooting and a bigger presence inside. And she's really a 6'2" guard, so she gives us that mismatch to take at the other teams. Callie's done well and stepped up and gotten a lot better, and Callie's just on the verge of breaking out and really becoming a solid performer every night, and she's going to get more competitive as the season goes along, but she's been a pleasant surprise as well.
Now, Coach, you're almost to the midpoint of your season. You got, I think, 13 games through, and I think 30-game season. Is that?
It is, yes.
Yeah.
Yep, we're almost halfway.
Almost halfway through. What do you think right now, if there was one thing that you would want to change on this team right now, what would it be?
I think we just need to get more consistent with our defensive effort, and I think we certainly need to continue to develop a post presence on offense. So those two things, we've been giving up too many easy shots, defensively, and we haven't been getting enough easy shots on the other end. And those are things that really matter as you get into the region play. You like to make more free throws than your opponent shoot in a game if you can. And we've not been getting to the line enough, and it says a lot about how good outside shooting team we are, but it also says something about that we're not actually getting in position to get the ball into our post enough. So I think we need to get the ball into our post more and try to control the basketball and keep it out of the paint a little better on defense.
How have the girls adjusted to your style of play in terms of what you brought to the table as opposed to what Gary had last season? How have the girls adjusted to your style of play?
Well, I think that Gary did an excellent job in all facets of the game. I mean, obviously he was known as a great defensive coach, and he certainly was that. So I would say that we're more offensive oriented. We focus on offense first in the season rather than defense, and that helps you early. But as you get to Christmas, coaches that focus on defense really start making a difference because they're shutting people down. And so we like to not let our defense suffer because we work on offense early, but we're at that critical point right now where we need to be as good defensively as Gary's teams were in the past, and we're striving to get there. And on the other hand, I think we've been a little bit better offensively early because we focused on that. So I think they've adjusted well to that, but they know we need to get better defensively. The whole team knows it, and we know it as well.
Now you're heading into the bulk of your conference season, as we already mentioned. What are you expecting? What do you know about some of the teams out, not just your team in the conference, but what do you know about some of the other teams in the conference that you're going to have to prepare for, and you may have to change up a scheme here and there?
Well, we know Merrimack is bigger than they have been in the past, and they're very well coached. Lewis and Clark that we beat on Saturday was nationally ranked 19th in Division II NJCAA, so we knew they were going to be a test for us, and they were. And as far as the region teams go, there isn't a weak team in the region. Everybody is solid, from Moberly to State Fair, Crowder, Mineral, Three Rivers. They're all solid. They all could beat us on a given night. I think we've got a chance to beat them on a given night. But we have to show up to play every night when you get into the middle of January and past that. So, I think there's no surprises out there in that respect. It's just a matter of who does the best job keeping their kids healthy. That's important. And who does the best job getting them ready to play the opponent that you face the next day.
How far do you think this team can be? How good do you think this team can be have they clicked on all cylinders yet?
We've had some halves where we've clicked on all cylinders. Saturday, the first half, we clicked on all cylinders, played really well. There's been some other instances where we played well at times, but we haven't put a whole game together yet, and we're still waiting to do that, and that's a typical new coach, new program, new kids and a new season. So, but the time for saying we're all new is just about past, because it's almost second semester and we're about halfway through. So I don't think they've clicked yet. Our goal is to be, we take the segment in games of 6, 7 in a row, and we say, now look, here's our next 6 games. We've got to prepare for these, and we do those one game at a time. And our next 6 are really going to be tough. We got one of those Saturday against Lewis and Clark, and we've got 5 more of those to get before we go play Mineral and start region play. So we'd like to be, 14-3, 15-3 by the time we go play Mineral, and you got to take those one game at a time. But that's our goal for that next segment of the season before we start region play.
How far do you think this team can go if they start clicking on all cylinders?
Well, we're capable of playing with anybody. I mean, our guards are as good as anybody in the country, and our posts are getting better. So, we certainly have an opportunity, if we play well, to compete every night in Region 16. We certainly have a chance, if we play well consistently, to have a chance to win, consistently in Region 16. But so that's our goal, is to try to win every game we play in the region. Certainly hold home court advantage here and try to win our games at Jeffco, and then have a chance at the end of the season to peak and try to be, try to have a chance to get to the national tournament in Salina. And that's our goal overall this year. And the whole year really builds towards that. So how good do I think we can be? I think we can be that good, but there's a lot of work to do in the meantime.
As far as recruiting towards next season, have you had any girls commit to Jeffco already? Or are you in the process that you feel like you're going to get somebody that can really make a difference and come into your style of play?
Yeah, we're really looking at a lot of kids, several area kids, and then a couple kids from out of the area that we're talking to. And we won't know on those till probably maybe mid-February, till we really ask for a commitment and have a chance to sort through the recruits we're looking at. There is some basketball talent in the area this year, which we're really glad to see. And there's some local kids that we're looking at to go along with Michelle and Webb, so for next year. So we'd like to have those kids back and pick up another couple, 3 area kids before next year.
And as far as the girls you have now, are any of them committed or looking at some 4-year schools after Jefferson College?
Yeah, everybody's getting some interest. There's a lot of 4-year schools that are interested in Robin and Candy and Shatira and Evelina and Aya, and all those kids are getting looks. Callie Huff's getting some looks from some NAI schools. Ashley Cornett is looking at some D2 schools up by Omaha, where she's from, NCAA schools. So we're getting a lot of interest from a lot of 4-year schools, and I think that's typical for Jeffco, to have that kind of talent and have a chance for those kids to move on and get their education paid for.
Coach, it's Coach Kevin Emmerich, the women's basketball coach here at Jefferson College. Good luck to you tomorrow against
Thanks.
Forest and Valley, and have a good Christmas break. You play Forest Park. That's basically your only, you guys have a week off after that, but two games in 3 weeks is kind of a nice break for you.
It is.
Go get yourself 2 wins, and hopefully we see you when we come back at the first of the year, and you guys are 12-3.
We're counting on it. Thanks a lot, Dave. Appreciate it.
That's head coach Kevin Emmerich joining us on KJFF and JCTV. We'll be right back after this.
Great education.
Friendly atmosphere.
Beautiful campus.
The convenience and the affordability.
My experience at Jefferson College has been wonderful.
I find the quality of education here at Jefferson College to be one of a kind.
My experience at Jefferson College has been a major plus in my life and one of the best decisions I've made.
Jefferson College would be the place that I would recommend the most.
I'm Katie Williams.
I'm Kevin Higginbotham.
I'm Ann Martinson.
I'm Tony Markovich, and I'm proud I chose to attend Jefferson College.
And we're back on the Jefferson College Sports Report. My name is David Cassell, joined now by head coach Sam Carroll, the new Jefferson College baseball coach. Coach, how are you?
Very good. I keep hearing that word new.
Well, you were around last year for as an assistant. You came in the middle of the season in December in the off season in the break because you wanted to get kind of acquainted with all the kids that you had coming back for this year. You knew it was going to be Coach Oster's last year there, so. How did the kids respond to you last year, and then how are they responding to you as the head coach this year?
Oh, that's a good question there, Dave. You're coming out firing bullets.
I'm coming out firing right now.
They were really good last spring, coming in as an assistant. There really wasn't much pressure on me. Obviously, everyone knew the situation with Coach Oster. Coach Oster did a tremendous job last year. That's got to be tough. You're on your way out, and your replacement, so to speak, is assisting you and helping you out, and that's got to be tough for him as well. But the guys did a great job, and then this summer it was good that Coach Oster was able to put his ego aside to allow this to happen in the spring. So then when the summer rolled around, the transition was very smooth, and in the fall, we, as they say, we hit the ground running.
How did the fall season end up going? Was it better than you expected?
That's another good question. We may need to get you to replace Ryan here. It went well.
He's not hearing that. Hopefully he doesn't listen to the tape of this. But
He'll be okay. It went well. We had a lot of injuries. In fact, we ended up, when the season ended, we had about 8 guys that were injured. 4 guys had surgery. So we are finally starting to heal up, which is nice. We still have a couple guys that we may question whether or not they'll be ready come the spring. But we should be good to go. All in all, it was a good fall.
And now going into this offseason, now you're obviously in the middle of the offseason right now.
Yes.
You're doing your off-season workouts, your conditioning program. How much baseball-related stuff? How many? You guys aren't allowed to practice according to NJCTV, are you?
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, we're able to have limited workouts on an individual basis, and so we've been maxing out that rule, so to speak. We've been lifting. The guys have been lifting on their own in the morning, and we've been doing some skill work in the afternoon. But you're right, it's very limited as the amount of time that we can spend downstairs and up in the weight room. But our guys, we have a very good senior class, and they do a great job of leading our guys, and our guys have kind of taken on their own to work out. And they're doing a tremendous job. And hopefully, Dave, it's going to pay off in the spring.
How much improvement do you see from guys in the fall, and then seeing what they needed to work on? And I'm sure you met with them individually right after the fall season, said, hey, this is what you need to work on. How much do you see them working in terms of, especially the ones that you told them, hey, if you want a starting spot, you have a chance, but you have to work really hard?
Yeah, good point. Tremendous. That's, I guess, the short answer to it. Our guys have really been working hard. In fact, I've been very pleased. They've almost exceeded my expectations the way we should be working. We've seen a lot of improvement in our guys. Now, granted, the winter is a great time for improvement because there's no pressure with the game. They don't have to worry about results. They don't have to worry about the next day going 2 for 3 to stay in the lineup. There's no pressure there. So they can sit there for 6 to 8 weeks and work on their skills and be able to fail a little bit more in order to get better. Because it's true in any athletic sport. You've got to be able to get outside your comfort zone if you want to be able to get better. And when you're not competing, that's a good time for guys to get out of their comfort zone. They're more able to do it, so to speak, more willing.
And can you name a few of those players who really that you saw and told them, hey, you have a chance to compete, you still need to work on some stuff, but you see them really hitting it hard in the offseason?
Sure.
And you can obviously see improvement in maybe their swing, or they've gained some arm strength. Is there anybody in particular that you've seen?
I'll give you a whole group of guys. The freshmen. The freshmen have really gotten better, and they have needed to. I mean, our outfielders have gotten better. They've gotten stronger. I mean, all our guys are really gaining some weight, gaining some flexibility. I wasn't too worried about our seniors. Our seniors obviously have gotten better, but the freshmen were the key, in terms of they've got to be able to produce in the spring. This isn't like a 4-year school where you can hide freshmen and you got them for 4 years. Here, freshmen have to come in right away, and they have to compete and contribute if you want to do anything special. And these guys have really done a great job this fall and winter.
Now, coming into this season, what were the weaknesses that you saw that you think may have been, those gaps may have been filled, even though it's still early to tell?
I still think there's question marks about our catching situation because, we have 4 freshmen that are competing for that spot, and it's going to be in the spring and the preseason to determine who's going to take the helm on that, so to speak. And then our outfield, we don't have as many outfielders as we would like in terms of depth. But the 4 that we have, in fact, you could say 4.5 with Cody Fick. He may see some time out there. They've done a good job. Primarily, though, here this fall and winter, we've been working on the hitting instead of so much the defense.
And now you have about 2 months, about a little over 2 months, as we got a little guy coming up here. As your son's joining us
hey,
here.
Max, you want to sit on my lap? You want to say hi?
That's Max Carroll, the head coach's son right there.
Yeah.
But no, Coach, as far as heading into the season, you have about 2 months till the first game, a little over 2 months, February 22nd, I believe.
Yes, correct.
You guys play. And that's against
Swick.
Swick.
Yeah,
okay,
we
so
play them at Belleville.
Right away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
They always have a good team.
It'll be a test right away, and we got to be ready. We got to be ready to play. And we've been talking about February 22nd for the last couple months, so we're really excited to come back from the break and to get rocking and rolling.
Are there any staples in your lineup right now that you know are going to be in there, that maybe last season had great years and they may have struggled in the fall, but now you know they're going to be plugged in the lineup?
Man, I'm telling you, you come out with all these questions. Ryan's got to take a class on questions here. The infielders, definitely. You're looking at Cody Whitehead's going to be in there somewhere in the middle of the order. Obviously a Festus grad. Zach Shy, Herculaneum grad's going to be at first. He's going to be somewhere. And then Pete Thomas, our shortstop from the Chicago area, he's going to be in the lineup somewhere. And then in some capacity, Brian Randazzo, whether that's in the outfield, at second base, at DH, and John Lyons is going to be in the middle of that as well. So, those, if you want staples, those are going to be the guys, definitely. And then Kyle Boschert's going to lead the pitching staff.
Now you have an exposure camp coming up. Jefferson College is hosting an exposure camp. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we're hosting an exposure camp. It's the 12th year we're doing this. This was something that Coach Oster started the tradition with. It'll be February 11th. We're going to get started at 10 o'clock in the morning, and it's a big fundraiser. It serves three purposes. One, it's a fundraiser for us. The second thing it does is it gets kids exposed to us so we can start identifying young players, and then also it allows guys here in the area to be seen by other junior colleges.
And how old are the kids in that exposure camp? Is that
high school age kids, anywhere from
high school?
freshmen to seniors. Yeah, definitely.
Anybody can come in if they want to.
If you go to high school, you can come to the exposure camp.
When is the exposure camp?
February 11th. It's a Sunday. It's the Sunday after Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh, okay. See, that's important date that everybody has to know. Super Bowl
Definitely.
Sunday, the week after that. So
sure. I guess we could have had on Super Bowl Sunday this year with the Rams since they won't be there.
Now you had a few players already commit to some four-year schools,
yes.
And I know you wanted that to be done. You would prefer it to be done before the season starts to kind of get away from all the distractions. Talk about those players and where they're going.
We got 4 guys who signed in the early signing period. Eric Atkins signed at Grambling State University, right-handed pitcher for us who is from the Chicago area as well. Got a great offer from Grambling, very excited for him. Kyle Boschert's going to Missouri State. Got a great offer from them as well. He's very excited. They need some pitching help down there, and so obviously he's excited about going down. Pete Thomas, our shortstop, is going to the University of Evansville. They need a middle infielder, and Evansville just came off a fantastic year where they won the Valley, finished ranked 19th in the country, so we're very excited for him. And then, of course, Schaefer Hall is going to the University of Kansas. He's our lone freshman, and he, of course, is our left-handed pitcher from Lee Summit West.
But and your pitching staff going into this year, how do you see it looking? How do you see it shaping up?
Very strong. That's going to be a strength for us. Now, as to who starts and who relieves, that's going to be determined in the spring. But we feel very confident with the arms that we're going to throw out there on a daily basis.
When do you head into your conference season? As far as when's your first conference game?
It's mid-March. Right now, we're focused on February 22nd.
Focused on February 22nd. Coach Sam Carroll, head coach of the Jefferson College baseball team, joining us on 1400 KJFF and JCTV for the Jefferson College Sports Report. That's going to do it here today. I'm David Cassell. Thank you, Coach Emmerich and Coach Carroll, joining us. And that's going to do it on KJFF.
Exceptional education.
Spectacular experience.
The personalization.
It was convenient.
It's a fun atmosphere.
And my personal experience here has just been wonderful.
It just opened up a whole new horizon for our family.
Arnold, High Ridge, and the Hillsborough campus has been very convenient.
I recommend Jefferson College every day to anyone who will ask.
I'm Russ Hilton.
I'm Jane.
I'm Brandon Berger.
I'm Liz Lando, and I'm proud I chose to attend Jefferson College.